Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this episode of Langer at the Mic, our NFL Week 15 preview here on Langer at the Mic. As usual, we're joined by our very special guest, Justin Pooni of Process Sports Radio. How's it going today, Justin?
I'm doing well, Mike. Thankfully, you're not wearing that neck pillow on your head again. Yeah, it's
Interestingly enough, my record this week was the same as the week before, but at least like my lock of the week was good. My brainlessly bold was almost 100% right in terms of the Chiefs turning the ball over three times. Even though the Chiefs won, I predicted the Dolphins to win, but still the Chiefs turned the ball over three times, and it was close. And Patrick Mahomes took a 30-yard sack and whatever
he
that was
did.
in that
Yeah,
game.
that's
So
exactly right. He did.
yeah, and I think honestly, look, your lock was actually wrong because you locked the Saints over the Eagles, but
I
the Eagles,
did.
Jalen Hurts pulled the
I
upset.
did. I did. I thought Jalen Hurts would be a spark, but it wouldn't be enough. But definitely he was a spark, and it was enough. Let's see. Let's see. The Eagles are might have their swagger back.
We'll see. I mean, they have a tough matchup in this week. We'll get into that in a
Yeah.
little bit. But another thing that was interestingly wrong on both our ends was Mitch Trubisky and the Chicago Bears saying we don't give an F that we trade up for Mitch Trubisky because on this Sunday afternoon we're gonna just pound it down your throats. We're gonna beat you 40 something to 7. And yeah, just the Texans honestly like they just got whooped on Sunday.
Yeah, I saw a stat that said that Mitch Trubisky actually has a higher winning percentage than Deshaun Watson. Whatever that's worth.
I mean, look, I mean that Mitch Trubisky had that 2018 year where
They
Khalil
won the
Mack was at
they
where
won
that's
the they won the division that year, right? They were
yeah, that was a double doink game in Philly
yeah, 11
against
and
Philly.
11 and 5, I think they were that year.
11
11 and
5 or
5.
10 and 6, but
One or
whatever it
two.
was, yeah, they had a top
That's the
defense.
year
Just like
Aaron Rodgers broke his collarbone.
that was the year. Yeah, that was the year Aaron Rodgers broke his collarbone and Mike McCarthy got fired and ended up in Dallas 2 years later. So. And then that Ravens game though, that Monday we got
Oh,
to talk about real quick. That
yes,
Ravens game,
what a
we both
game
got
that
it.
was.
We
Holy.
both got it wrong, I think, because we both chose the Browns,
Both
but
picked the
like,
Browns, yeah.
but
And it
still,
looked like
like,
it looked like it honestly that the Browns were gonna I thought the Browns were gonna take it. And then Lamar came back from the cramps and 4th and 5 finds Hollywood Brown. And then, credit to Baker and company, they came right back down the field and boom, 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 touchdown Kareem Hunt. And I mean, what can you say about Justin Tucker? I think once they got in field goal range, you knew Justin Tucker was going to nail that game when they field goal just because he's so money.
yeah, honestly, credit to everyone in like both sides, both the Browns offense,
Great
even the
game.
Browns
Great
defense
game.
that gave up 47 points, but the Ravens running game, Lamar being able to overcome those cramps, whether they were shoulder or stomach related, who knows? But I think
Who
it was
knows?
stomach
It might have
related
been
because
a Roberto Luongo situation from back in the day, right?
exactly, and whatever it was, he shed his couple pounds off there, and he came back
Yeah,
and he dazzled in the fourth quarter. But to me, the
absolutely.
only person who's or the only person of those two teams that I guess is the quote unquote donkey is Cody Parkey, who missed that field
Yeah.
goal, which would have been the difference in the game in the first quarter, if you think of it.
Yeah, I think definitely. I think this was a sticking point game for the Browns. Even though they lost, they kind of proved that, hey, we're not the same Browns. We're gonna not gonna be pushed around anymore like that.
Oh yeah, Browns for sure are for real
Yeah.
this year. But and Baker, honestly, I love the way Baker Mayfield's playing right now. He's playing his best football at the pro level in his career, like in his 3 year career. I mean, again, everything is working for that team on the offensive side of the football, and they're going to they could challenge they could challenge the Chiefs, they could challenge the Steelers in the playoffs in the AFC,
I
100%.
definitely, I definitely think the Steelers again lost on Sunday night, back-to-back losses. We'll see what's going on with the Steelers, but I definitely think that it's gonna be quite interesting.
For sure. Well, we're going to get into week 15 now. We start with Thursday night football. Today's Wednesday. We got tomorrow night, Thursday night football. Oh, and by the way, before I forget, of course, he is Justin Pooni of Process Sports. Go follow him on Instagram at Process Sports and on Twitter at _Process Sports. I'm Mike Langer on Twitter and Instagram. And give us a big thumbs up on our video and subscribe to both of our channels, of course, as usual. We'd greatly appreciate that. But now, getting into week 15 right now, we have the Las Vegas Raiders and the LA Chargers. Now, I had to think, honestly, you know what? I'm going to let you go first because I haven't quite settled myself on my pick yet. Actually, I have, but you go first.
Honestly, Mike, like this game, if you asked me a couple weeks ago, it would have been an easy win for the Raiders, but the Raiders are struggling right now a lot. Derek Carr, 3 turnovers last game. They're not playing very. They almost lost to the Jets. They're not playing good football, and it looked like after that Chiefs game that they're kind of ascending. Can this team like be a potential contender in the playoffs and a problem in the playoffs, and now just kind of almost on life support, right, for their playoff lives. So I think I'm gonna go with the Raiders, but I'm gonna go with them hesitantly because I don't know if I really trust them to come through in this big game. This is a big game for them, where if they don't win this game, it's pretty much lights out for their season, right? So I think the Raiders do pull through, but I'm doing it very hesitantly, very, very hesitantly.
Here's the thing with Las Vegas. Josh Jacobs was a first round pick in 2019, correct?
Yes.
He was their last first round, like the lowest first round pick that they got in that deal with Khalil Mack, of course, right? So the Raiders, they took Cleveland Farrell and yeah, it was Cleveland Farrell, just to make sure I pronounce that right, and I think it was Jonathan Abram, their safety.
Jonathan Abram, yep.
And then they made a questionable pick of taking Damon Arnett in the first round this past year in 2020. My point with all this is that the Raiders defense has been
very leaky.
Has been brutal in the last couple of weeks, going up against Phillip Rivers and the Chargers. Sorry, not the Chargers, the Colts, and going against the Chiefs a couple weeks ago. You know, the offense, Derek Carr, you know, played a great game and made it close, but at the end of the day, just that defense is too leaky and just not really good right now. I think Abram is one of the worst safeties, is the worst ranked PFF safety in the NFL right now.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing with the Raiders is the offense is there. The offense is completely fine with the Raiders, right? The Raiders have Derek Carr, who's a very good quarterback. I think he gets a little bit of hate thrown towards him because he has some turnover issues. But you look at his numbers this year. He's got 24 touchdowns, I believe, to 7 interceptions, almost 3,500 yards, right? Darren Waller is one of the best tight ends in the league, in my opinion. I think he's right below Kelsey and Kittle, in my opinion. Josh Jacobs, we know, is an elite running back, right? And Nelson Aguilar.
Josh Jacobs, if I may stop you right there, Jacobs is averaging under 4 yards a carry, by the way. No, he's been banged up of late, but he's averaging under 4 yards a carry right now.
He is, but if you look, he's still got 9 touchdowns this year. He's a bell cow. He's a bell cow running back, in my opinion. I do think he is one of the upper echelon running backs in the league. And even then, Henry Ruggs, Nelson Aguilar, they got pieces on the offensive side. It's just the defensive end that needs a lot of work, right? Like you said, Jonathan Abrams is kind of leaky. I couldn't tell you, like, their pass rush is non-existent. They have what's it called, Crosby. That's probably the only guy I can really name to that, because
Malik Collins, I think they're missing. He's on IR, former Cowboy, a very underrated.
So I mean, I think that this offseason, if the Raiders really want to take that next step and become a playoff, because they're not going to be the division champion, I don't think, because I think the Chiefs have that division on lock. But if they want to, challenge for a playoff spot every year, they have the tools on the offensive side, just the defensive side, right? I like Gruden as a coach. I like what Gruden's done, right? But it's just the defensive side. So Mike Mayock and company, they got to fix that defensive side of the ball.
For sure. And with all that being said, though, the Raiders, I don't think they're not the Falcons, and they are not the Cincinnati Bengals, and they are not. Who did the Chargers beat again this year? I forget. But anyway, I still think the Las Vegas Raiders will overcome all that, because the Chargers just find ways to lose this year, except against teams that are better at losing. So give me the Las Vegas Raiders in this one on Thursday Night Football.
Most definitely.
Now, it's week 15, which means that we're at the point of the season where we have Saturday Night Football. That's
I
right.
Love it.
Yeah. Because I think it's because the college season ends now.
College football season's over till bowl. I guess bowl season's kind of in the air now because of COVID, but until, I guess, end of December, when college football's back on, and then the national championship is on. But yeah,
so we got Buffalo at Denver on the early game on Saturday, and then we have the Panthers at the Packers in the late game.
Yeah. A quick thing is I'm going back home to Vancouver on Friday for the Christmas holidays. So it's going to be kind of weird for me. I've been used to this Eastern time zone, the games being on later on in the day. Now I actually have to wake up at 10 a.m. in the morning now to watch football on Sundays, which is going to be a little bit of a change for me ever since I moved out here in September. But nevertheless, I think we are both in agreement that the Bills will beat the Broncos pretty handily. There's not really much to go into. I think Buffalo's a very good team. They're probably in my opinion, top 2 team in the AFC right now. And Green Bay versus Carolina. Give me Green Bay. I think Aaron Rodgers is playing at an elite level. Him and Mahomes are my MVPs this year. I think it's an easy win for the Packers.
Yeah, and I guess you could call these primetime games. So I guess we could call this our Who Will Shine in Primetime segment. And yeah, I totally agree with you. We have the Buffalo Bills will definitely continue to shine in primetime, and so will the Green Bay Packers because look, the Broncos actually played the Panthers in an interesting game this past Sunday,
Last
but
week.
not a very relevant one because both
Nope.
teams are like what 4-9 or
4-9. Yeah, they're
yeah, they're
both pretty
4-8 coming
irrelevant
into this
teams.
one.
Yeah.
So I just say, yeah, Buffalo will take care of Denver. But you know what? With that being said, though, I feel like Denver, even though they don't have any fans, it's still the mile high. It's still a tough
The
environment to
altitude and
play
stuff like
in.
that, right? Of course.
So it won't be an easy. I don't think it'll be an easy game for Buffalo, but they're the better team. They'll come up
Yeah.
with the win in the early game for you on the West Coast. It'll be 1 o'clock, I guess,
One
not
o'clock.
4:15.
Yes.
Yeah, and the the Packers will beat Carolina, and I think Aaron Rodgers will continue to make a very to me MVP. It's Aaron Rodgers or Patty Mahomes, give or take.
Those are the
That's
two.
it. And I'm
I
sorry to say
think
that Russell Wilson on your
you
behalf
know
kind
what?
of fell
Russ had
back,
his
but
chance, and then when he started playing hero ball, and the turnovers, it just didn't work out. But you never know. The next 3 games, if he does go on a tear and Seattle ends up winning the division and clinching maybe a top seed in the NFC or something like that, maybe, right? But as of right now, I think it's Rodgers or Mahomes. Now, I do think Mahomes, the 3 turnovers last week did hurt him, so I would elevate Rodgers. But right now, it's those. I would agree with you. It's those two, Rodgers or Mahomes.
and honestly, I love it for Aaron Rodgers because I was actually, you can say, stupidly picking the Packers to take a huge step back this year
I
because
did
of all
too. I definitely did. Yeah.
the internal conflict of this
Mm-hmm.
off season, between the coaching staff and between Aaron Rodgers and them taking Jordan Love and them not getting any other weapons for Aaron Rodgers. But if you think of it, at the end of the day, Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams and Aaron Jones, that's all you need. You got your triplets right there, and that's all you
Yeah.
need, right?
Hey, and he's making use out of the receivers he has as well. Like Valdez Scantling had a couple big games. The tight ends, Jamal Williams, because when Aaron Jones was out, right? So I definitely think that what the Packers are doing is it's very. The Packers are playing very well. So we'll see what happens come playoff time. But like I said, I do think the Saturday games are pretty. I expect them to be blowouts in both aspects. Both games, sorry.
Yeah, for sure. And now moving to Sunday Night Football. Now the big story in this one is that it was originally supposed to be my Dallas Cowboys against the San Francisco 49ers, which understandably so got flexed out for the Cleveland Browns over the New York Giants at MetLife Stadium. And honestly, you know what? Cleveland all the way. Cleveland's going to continue to
Yeah,
shine.
you know
They're
what?
not.
I struggled with this one actually because we talked about how what Cleveland just came off of probably one of the best games since maybe the Rams and Chiefs game from a couple of years ago, right? On another Monday night game, right? I think there could be a lull in this where the energy level and the it kind of hits on the Browns where they just went through that crazy game as they take a dip against the Giants. Now it does help that it's Sunday night football, right? So they're gonna be back on prime time again, where players end up playing a little bit harder and stuff. And the Giants aren't a team to take lightly, right? They even though they went to Seattle and won, of course, they're in the middle of the division race, right? I do think that Cleveland does pull it out, but the Giants are gonna put up a very big fight, a very very big fight.
As a Cowboys fan, I have no faith in Daniel Jones. I want the Giants to keep Daniel Jones for as long as they can. And honestly, you know what? I'm
You
gonna
don't like
say
Danny Dimes?
I'm gonna be on record for saying this. I don't care. If I was the Giants and I was serious about winning this division, I would strongly consider starting Colt McCoy over Daniel Jones because Colt McCoy, veteran quarterback, has
Yeah.
won big games before, and he just doesn't turn like just Daniel Jones is due for 2 turnovers a game, whether by fumble or interception. He is due for turnovers in every single game, and I just feel like if you can ride with that, like the Giants' best chance is defensively, like against Seattle 2 weeks ago. Their best chance to win is on their defense, and when you have a good defense and a not the best offense, especially when you're missing Saquon, the only the way that you win or your best chance at winning is to not turn the ball over. And what does Daniel Jones do? Turns the ball over. So that's why, honestly, I just think Cleveland will easily take. Okay, maybe not easily, but it's going to be. If it's a low scoring game, Cleveland will definitely come out on top. And if it's not a low scoring game, then Cleveland will just blow out the Giants. Honestly, so the
Yeah,
Browns will shine
we'll
on Sunday
see.
Night
I
Football.
do I do give the Giants a little bit more credit. I like their defense, the way they were playing, their running attack, right? Um, like I said, though, I think Cleveland has kind of proven that they are upper echelon team this year. They're not the same old Browns anymore. Um, I think it's going to be a closer game than what you expect, but I do think that I'm with you that the Browns will win.
Yeah, I'm saying if it's a close game, if it's a low scoring game, then like the Browns will come out on top, like I don't know, 13-10 or
Yeah, it's
17
not going to be a
to
bar. It's not going to be
16.
the same type of game that it was last on Monday night.
But if Baker gets going and that running game gets going, well, it's going to be 44-7 for the
Yeah,
Browns
you never
easily.
know, right? You never
Yeah.
know.
Well, that's the Sunday night game. Now we got the Monday night game. We have, well, it's this one won't be as exciting. We have the Steelers traveling to Cincinnati to face the Bengals and the Burrowless Bengals. And yeah, just I don't. Pittsburgh
This is
has taken a
exactly what
big step
Pittsburgh
back.
needed. Pittsburgh needed after back-to-back losses,
Yeah,
an easy game to get their swagger back, right?
but
This is
still,
exactly what Pittsburgh needed.
but it's still on the road. I mean, look, they're an AFC North team, so them playing in cold
They'll beat
environments
the
is
brakes off
nothing.
the Bengals. They'll beat the brakes off the Bengals. And this is exactly what they needed after two back-to-back losses, where they can kind of focus and get their swagger back and get that confidence back where, hey, we can win games again. We can be an elite team in the AFC, right?
Yeah, I see it being a close game, maybe for 2 or 3 quarters, but then the fourth, there'll be Big Ben and Juju. Okay, not so much Juju, but more Chase Claypool, fellow Canadian. Chase Claypool
So
will
let's
just.
hope that they can get the running game going, I think, like with the Snell and hopefully James Conner stays healthy. They get the running game going, right? That's the thing. Like you can't have. We talked about last week. You can't have Ben throwing the ball 50 times a game and expect to win, right? It's not sustainable, right? So I think it was it 12 points. I think they beat them by 2 touchdowns plus. I'm thinking 35 to like 17 or something like that.
Yeah, or like 27-7.
Something
Bengals
like that.
have
It's
can't
it's
do
not going to
anything on
be it's not
offense
going to
without
be a
Burrow.
contest.
For sure, for sure. Well, anyway, now we're gonna go to our next segment. We're gonna pick our afternoon games on Sunday. So our 7 to win in 70 seconds. Do you want to go first, Justin, or shall I go first?
I'll go first today.
All right. On my clock, ready in 3, 2, 1, go.
Texans Colts, give me the Colts. Houston's pretty much dead. Titans and Lions, give me the Titans. Going to win that game. Bucks and Falcons, the Bucks will win again. The Bucks are going to be riding high after a nice win against Minnesota. Jacksonville and Baltimore. Baltimore wins that easily. Miami, New England. Now, this is a very close game. I do think Miami does bounce back after a strong showing against the Chiefs. Miami beats the Patriots. Vikings and Bears. Give me the Bears to beat the Vikings. Seattle versus Washington. My Seahawks will go to Washington and win this game and strengthen their chance to win the division. Cowboys and 49ers. Give me the 49ers. Jets and Rams. Do the Jets finally win a game here? I'm taking the Jets to beat the Rams this week. Yes. And then another upset this week. I got the Cardinals losing to the Eagles, and the Eagles jumping right back into the division. And we have the Saints and the Chiefs. Give me the Saints to bounce back and beat the Chiefs this week. And that's it.
Are you crazy? Are you out of your mind?
Okay, honestly, you can put one of those 2 picks or 3 picks there at the end in your brainlessly bold segment.
Yeah.
I guess you can allow you to
I'll elaborate on them in the
yes,
next segment.
definitely do. I definitely want to hear what you have to say and how you come to that logic and reasoning on that. But anyway, my turn. 7 in 70. Give me a
Let me
countdown.
just get the timer ready, Mike, and we'll be good to go. Ready?
Yep.
All right, 3, 2, 1.
All right, so San Fran over Dallas. So it was supposed to be the Sunday Night Football game. Give me the 49ers over the Cowboys just because the 49ers, unlike the Bengals, actually have a running game with Raheem Mostert and maybe Tevin Coleman, maybe Jerick McKinnon. They'll beat the Cowboys, who just can't stop the run all year. Even against the Bengals, they struggled to stop Samaje Perine and Giovanni Bernard and so on and so forth. So San Fran over Dallas. Give me the Colts over the Houston Texans because, like you said, the Houston Texans are just dead to right. They lost. They got blown out by the Bears. Enough said. Give me Titans over Lions. The Titans just look. Derrick Henry's a beast, leading rusher in the NFL, and they will just run all over Detroit, who can come back maybe in garbage time, but Titans will win easily. Give me the Baltimore Ravens over the Jaguars. Jaguars are dead to rights. Dolphins over Patriots. Like you said, close game, but I'm going to go with the Dolphins in this one. Vikings over Bears. And like what you said, I think the Bears will come back to earth in this one. They're playing on the road in Minnesota, so I just think comfort for Kirk Cousins and that offense. Dalvin Cook will get going enough to win. And give me Arizona over the Philadelphia Eagles. Just, yeah, Jalen Hurts was a one-off against the Saints. And also Kyler Murray is better than Taysom Hill. So, yeah, give me the Cardinals in that one.
All right. Well, we'll see what happens this week.
Yeah. Well, starting with our lock and load pick now. Again, you took the Jets. One of us is going to be really, really dead wrong over here because my lock and load pick of the week. I might be cheating here because the Jets are not gonna. They very well will likely not win a game again this or all year. They'll go 0-16. So I'm gonna lock the Rams over the Jets and play it safe. I locked the Seahawks last week against the Jets, and that paid off very well for me. And so yeah, just give me the LA Rams over the Jets. And the Jets, honestly, the Jets' biggest scare for this year will be that game against New England in Week 17 where Bill Belichick, I saw this interesting point. I don't watch Colin Cowherd that often, but he made a point where Bill Belichick will be like, you know what? I'm going to start Jarrett Stidham this week just to see what we got. And then that will ruin the Jets' chances at Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah. Well, my lock of the week is going to be the Baltimore Ravens against the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think the Baltimore Ravens got their swagger back by beating the Browns. They feel they won a tough game, and I can see them going on a roll and probably winning out the rest of their games this season, finishing out at 11-5. I think. I think they just run right over the Jacksonville Jaguars. Lamar Jackson's gonna hopefully not eat some bad sushi this week, and hopefully his stomach settles right. And he will definitely be running roughshod over the Jacksonville Jaguars once again.
I think Trace McSorley or RG3 or even Des Bryant as a left-handed quarterback could be under center for the Ravens.
I think Des Bryant got taken off the COVID list this week, so hopefully we see Des on the field.
I want to see him throw up at least one X sometime this year. We got to see that X at least once. Yeah. But you know what? I keep saying this. The Jaguars, I know they got pretty much blown out by Tennessee last week, but they've played in a lot of close games this year. Yeah. They're one of the better 1-11 teams that I can think of. If you they're in a lot of close games. The Jaguars are, but they either don't convert the 2-point to tie it up, or when they get a chance to kick to drive the field for a game-winning field goal, they turn it over and in overtime, and the Vikings win. The Jaguars have been a lot of frustratingly close games and just lost.
Well, we'll see. Like I said, I do think that Jacksonville, like you said, they have played very close games and stuff like that, but come on, you can't bet against the Ravens against the Jags.
For sure. But now let's go into our GOAT of the week. And you know what? I have a bit of a surprise for you, Justin. So I'll let you go first on our GOAT of the week.
GOAT of the week is going to be Mr. Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is going to prove to the world again that he can be a starting quarterback in this league, and therefore make the decision even more easier for the Eagles to get rid of Carson Wentz. Jalen Hurts will lead the Philadelphia Eagles to victory against the Arizona Cardinals again by throwing over 100 yards and having over 100 rushing yards once again this week. And the Philadelphia Eagles move to 5-8 on 5-8-1 on the season and move even closer to possibly clinching the division title.
Justin, you know I said GOAT of the week, not Brainlessly bold prediction, right?
Well, Jalen Hurts is my GOAT of the week. I have another Brainlessly bold prediction, which I'm going to get to.
Well, you already said it, but yeah, we'll elaborate on that later on. But still, you know what? I would be down for that because that would mean the Eagles and will clear themselves that much, or will distance themselves from the Cowboys in terms of them overtaking the Cowboys for a top draft pick. So I'd be cool with that, and especially if they don't end up winning the division, because
Cardinals defense is not very good, right?
Yeah, but also Kyler Murray's better than Taysom Hill, though. I think that was kind of a one-off win at Philly.
I mean, Philadelphia's defense, Fletcher Cox, Brandon Graham, they can get after him a little bit. You never know, right?
I mean, Budda Baker in that secondary for Arizona. Chandler Jones could always.
Miles Sanders looks good like that again, and he breaks off a couple big runs. Never know. And I think sometimes Philly does this, right? Philly always at the end of the year. They get hot and they just go on a little run, and then
I'll tell you the thing with Philly is, again, them being in the Cowboys division, I just know that every year they're due for, last year was that win at Green Bay on Thursday Night Football, and this year was that win against the Saints. They're always due for one game, and a couple of years ago, 2015, it was Sam Bradford who led the Eagles to a win in New England against the Patriots. So they're always due for one win that just makes no sense every year.
What I'm thinking is, I'm looking at Week 17, Washington versus Philly. That's going to be for the division title.
Well, that will be a perfect segue to my goat of the week, and I'm gonna kind of hit you with a freight train with this one, Justin. So my apologies, but not really. The Washington football team will be the goat of the week and upset Seattle and take
Wow.
first place in the NFC East, which isn't maybe so least anymore. But here's the thing. Here's what my prediction is riding on. It's Alex Smith didn't practice today, but I'm told. Okay, I'm not told because I'm not Ian Rappaport or Adam Schefter, but just according to Yahoo Fantasy, that they are optimistic that Alex Smith will play on Sunday. So give me that Washington and that defense, and especially in Washington with that just awful field. I just think that's not gonna, like Russell Wilson, Seattle. They're used to playing in bad weather and in the rain. But just that field in Washington and that defense just spells trouble for me in terms of the Seahawks' ability to win. And I see them playing kind of like they did against the Giants a couple weeks ago. So
You know what? I can see that, Mike. I can see that. I think this is gonna be a very close game. I think the point spread was 5. I think it's gonna be less than that. Right. I think it's gonna take a last second field goal or last second touchdown by Russ or something like that, right, to win this game. I think Chase Young. I was listening. I forget somebody had said it. I think it was Ryan Clark, the former Steelers cornerback. He was on ESPN, and he said that Chase Young is what Jadeveon Clowney wishes he was, right? I
can
think
see that.
Chase Young is an elite pass rusher. I think Chase Young is an absolute stud, and he's going to be a stud for the years to come. And I love what Ron Rivera's done with the Washington team, right? They have a new culture, they have a new set and stuff like that. They have to get the quarterback situation figured out eventually, right? Alex Smith has been a great story. I love their defense. Their defense plays very well, right? So I can totally see what you're saying right now, but them being the goat of the week. I can totally see it. Do I think it's going to happen? No, but I can totally see it.
Washington is a consistently good quarterback away from being a perennial NFC East division winner. I mean, until Dak comes back and the Cowboys get their coaching situation figured out and their defense figured out. But right now, yeah, Washington is the best coach team in that division by far. Especially on the defensive side of the ball.
1,000%.
Now, with that being said, let's go over to our donkey of the week. I'll go first on this one. And I think this is kind of cheating again because just like taking the team playing the Jets as a lock of the week, for me, the donkey of the week will be the Atlanta Falcons at home to Tampa Bay. Atlanta's just always a good candidate to be a donkey of the week. They lost 3 of their last 4. And I just think it could be a close game because Atlanta's at home, although they have had issues protecting Matt Ryan of late, except in that game that they just blew away the Raiders somehow. But I think that was just more the Raiders being really bad on defense. The Bucs defense is not bad. They actually, I think, one of the best defenses against the run. So it's all going to fall on Matt Ryan to lead the Falcons to victory. And I don't think he's going to do it. I think he'll even throw a late interception or 2, but the Falcons will falcon on Sunday against the Bucs, and they will lose the game more than the Bucs will win the game.
That's a pretty I think it's a pretty safe bet that they might do that. I mean, I don't think the game's gonna be close at any time in the game. I don't think or anything like that. I think it's gonna be a blowout. My goat of the week, not goat of the week, donkey, sorry. It's gonna be Patrick Mahomes.
Ooh.
I think Patrick Mahomes, coming off another 3 turnovers against the Dolphins, playing another good defense in the New Orleans Saints. I think he has a couple turnovers, and I think the balloon gets popped a little bit in Kansas City, where they kind of have to come back down to earth, where they're not the invincible team everybody thinks they are, and they're going to lose to the New Orleans Saints mostly because of turnovers, I think, and their defense. I think Patrick Mahomes is going to turn the ball over, probably force some things to either Tyreek Hill or Travis Kelce, and have a couple turnovers. He's still in the MVP conversation. But I think Patrick Mahomes is going to turn the ball over against the Saints, and I think the Saints win, and they bounce back after a tough loss against Philly.
Man, Justin, one of us is going to have to wear the neck pillow next week because
Mike,
one of us is going to be
next
dead
week's
wrong.
Christmas, so I don't know if we're going to do an episode next week.
Well, we'll see.
We'll see.
I mean, yeah, we'll see. But either way, whether it's next week or the week after, one of us is going to have to wear the pillow cushion or some stupid hat as the donkey. Because
Don't worry, Mike, I was kidding. I'll definitely be on next week too.
No, again, we'll see. I mean, I'll be in Montreal probably. You'll be back in Vancouver, of course. But we'll make it happen. We'll make it happen. We'll find a way.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. So for my brainlessly bold prediction, I did a little bit of research to justify this. And I'm gonna take. You're saying the donkey will be the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes. To me, I just think that Taysom Hill, again, I just can't have faith in Taysom Hill going against an actual opponent in the Chiefs. And I think that if Breeze was active, which he will not be, it's unlikely that Breeze will play in this one. I would have a little more faith in the Saints, and I would maybe even take the Saints. But you know what? My brainlessly bold prediction is that the Saints, by the way, like you said, great defense, fourth against the pass. They've given up only 2,720 yards. Okay, only, but that's an average of 209.2 yards per game, which was, again, influenced by that Denver game a little bit. But either way, again, Saints, really good defense. But here's my bold prediction, or my brainlessly bold prediction. Patrick Mahomes will not be a donkey. He will pass for over 400 yards and 4 touchdowns against the Saints' stout pass defense.
Are you crazy? Are you out of your mind?
Interesting show next week. Then one of us is gonna have to do a lot of explaining to do next week.
Oh yeah, and the Chiefs obviously will win against the Saints. It might not be I guess it could be a blowout if he's throwing for over 400 yards and 4 touchdowns. I think Tyreek Hill gets loose again for a big player too. Yeah. And yeah, just give me the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes just completely blowing the doors off the Saints.
Oh,
now, you have to explain your Jets pick over the Rams. That is your brain.
That I was saving for the last. Best for last.
Of course, yes. Go ahead. The floor is yours.
I'm thinking in my head it would be easy to pick the Rams versus the Jets. Honestly speaking, Mike, I think the Rams are gonna underestimate the Jets after they lost by 40 to whatever it was against the Seahawks. And the Jets are going to come out and I think Jared Goff's going to turn the ball over quite a bit this next game. I think Jared Goff's kind of a dud of a game. And I think the Jets win on like some late fluky field goal and they win. I don't know how they're going to win. I don't know. I just think Jared Goff's going to have a bad game. And I think Sean McVay is going to be confused out of his mind of why Jared Goff played so bad. And I think this is going to go with the blame's going to win Jared Goff. And I think the Jets somehow win the game. Now, I probably am going to be completely wrong, but it'd be very helpful for my Seahawks in the division. So, you know what? I'm going to take that pick and I'm going to roll with it.
Are you crazy? Are you out of your mind?
I have to call you out here just because you're a Seahawks fan, right?
Yeah.
So you watched that 40-3 or 40-6 debacle in Seattle where the Jets just got destroyed by the Seahawks?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you saw that, right?
Yeah.
And the Seahawks have one of the worst defenses in the worst defense in the NFL.
They're playing
right?
much better of late.
Okay, but they're still giving up all those yards and anyway on the season. But the point is, the Rams have one of the best defenses in the NFL, right?
Yes.
Okay. And by the way, look, if I'm ever stupid, like if I'm ever wrong, feel free to call me out as well. But
hey, Mike, you know what? Any given Sunday, anybody can win or lose.
But
Sunday, I think the New York Jets will win a football game and they will beat the Los Angeles Rams.
That is where I will agree with you that anything can happen on any given Sunday, and like it's a cliche, but hey, it's true. Who thought that
True, man. Ray Williams would not like it, but it's true.
Yeah, I mean, who thought that the Giants would have beat the Seahawks in Seattle a couple weeks ago? Like, it's 2020. The Browns just got flexed in for the Cowboys Niners game on Sunday Night Football game. It's 2020, man, and that would be a really and I you're right. Like, I will agree that Jared Goff can be could be the reason why the Rams lose that game, because he's very inconsistent, and if the Rams can't get their running game going and they have to rely on I don't think Sean McVay will be confused in everything, because Sean McVay is one of the best coaches in the NFL.
By confused, I mean he'll be like, how can we lose to the Jets?
Okay, yeah, fair. But it will be, if they lose, it will be because of Jared Goff turning the ball over. And Sam Darnold.
The Jets are due to win a game, man. They can't go 0-16.
I think they can go 0-16.
I think they can go 0-16 too.
Unless it's Bill Belichick.
I'm just trying to make myself feel better about saying something so outlandishly crazy.
Fair enough. And of course, again, if I ever say if you ever think I'm dead wrong, then feel free to call me out on it, and I'll do the best I can to defend myself. But
at the end of the day, one of us is gonna look really good, one of us is gonna look really stupid. So
yeah, and that's what I love about our show today. And just sometimes, you know what, your gut just tells you. Even logic might say
it's
completely
the logic defining
opposite.
Pick on my part.
Yeah, and then your gut will tell you something else. For sure. But yeah, hey, thank you so much again for watching and listening on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Once again, he is Justin Pooni of Process Sports Radio. Follow him at Process Sports on Instagram and _Process Sports on Twitter. Follow me at Mike Langer, both on Instagram and Twitter. Subscribe to both our channels. Give us a big thumbs up on this video. And thank you so much for watching this NFL Week 15 preview here on Langer at the Mic. Happy holidays and see you again next time.
Go Jets.